Who in charge on the beat? Best producer in Louisiana. If you don't believe me, go to his YouTube page and check him out. My name is Sidney Combs, and I'm a young entrepreneur from Shreveport, Louisiana with $1 in the dream. The message for tonight is, can you bounce back? Can you bounce back? Most people in life, I don't think they understand the importance of bouncing back. And I think most people struggle in life because of that. You see a person that's homeless. And when you see a homeless man or a woman, you think that they're not intelligent, they're not smart. And most homeless people are very intelligent. They're some of the smartest people in the world. But one of the main reasons why they're homeless is because they don't know how to bounce back. And if you ever ask them, they're going to always tell you that, man, I went through a real bad marriage, maybe lost a child. It was something bad that happened to them that caused them to kind of give up on the world. And see, that's the problem that we have to find a way to solve it. How do you bounce back? Your life will be determined on you being able to bounce back. And if you cannot bounce back, I can tell you right now, you're going to be in a world of trouble on this planet. Because I don't care how good you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how beautiful you are. I don't care how handsome you are. You're going to go through some problems, some trials and some tribulations. What do you do when you go through that? That will determine your entire life. What do you do when you go through those situations? Do you bounce back or do you lay down? And most people in this world, they're going to lay down. They're never going to get to a point of saying, hey, I can do better. I can have more. But you know what's so crazy? The people that you look up to in the world, your favorite rappers, your favorite singers, your favorite athletes, they've all had to bounce back in their life. Most of the time, your favorite rapper, what they're going to tell you, they come from the hood, they come from little to nothing. And what did they have to do? They had to fight, they went after their dream, and they was able to find a way to accomplish their dream. That's bouncing back. Think about your favorite NBA players. A lot of them come from nothing. What do they have to do? They had to bounce back from those early issues or situations to become who they are. Think about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, they said he was homeless at one point in time as a teenager. Look who he is now, how much money he's made in the NBA. He had to bounce back. I bring this story up every now and then. Think about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant lost to the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. And he sat there and watched that confetti fall down on his head. And he soaked all of that in. He soaked it in. And you know what he did? He came back the next year and won the NBA championship. Why? Because he was able to bounce back. I remember Chris Bosh did a Hall of Fame speech. And what Chris Bosh said, he said, Kobe had just lost the NBA Finals. And he said, they were always at this hotel and they was getting ready to eat breakfast. And he was like, man, I'm going to be the first one to practice. So he got ready to eat, he ate, and he was getting ready to go work out. Kobe was in a full out sweat. He just got through working out. He was like, then this guy just lost the NBA Finals. That lets you know how much he bounced back. He bounced back from that situation. He lost and bounced back. Think about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan came back from the NBA Finals. He came back in 95. He lost to the Orlando Magic. He got swept by the Orlando Magic that first year he came back in 95. The very next year, he came back and he swept the Orlando Magic. Let that sink in. What did he do? He bounced back. Think about LeBron James. LeBron James had, to me, the worst NBA Finals a superstar can ever have, in my view, against the Mavericks in the 11-12 season. After that, what did he do? He came back the next year and won a championship against the Spurs. No, the Oklahoma City Thunder. I apologize. The Thunder the next year. Let that sink in. He bounced back. Anyone you can see that's great throughout history had to bounce back from some trial, some tribulation. Something. And you telling me that you can't bounce back from the issue that you have in your life? I remember when my grandmother died. My grandmother died, if I wasn't mistaken, I was 24, 25. And when my grandmother died, it bothered me so much because she was like another mother to me. But you know what I had to do? I had to bounce back. Because I understood that my grandma, she did not want to see me not accomplishing my goals and dreams because I was crying because she died. Or I couldn't move forward because she died. I know my grandma, she gonna sit there and say, boy, if you don't get up and keep going, pick your head up. I know that's what she would be telling me. And that's what I did. I said, hey man, let me keep going, let me keep grinding. I went through a divorce. I never in a million years thought I'd go through a divorce. And went through it. And that hurt. That hurt. And in that time, I could have laid down. I could have quit. But you know what I did? I picked myself up. I got more focused. I got more driven. I started getting my head together. I started stacking my money up. And after the divorce, I ended up purchasing this home. But why was I able to do that? Because I bounced back. I bounced back from what I went through in life. And you got to be able to bounce back from what you go through in life. There's a woman that's going to go through a divorce. There's a woman that's going to lose a job, and she got to be able to bounce back. There's a child that's going to have to deal with their mother not being in their life or their father not being in life. They're going to have to be able to bounce back. There's going to be a student in college that's going to fail their exit exam. And they're going to have to be able to bounce back. No matter how great of a person you see on this planet, I promised you they had a failure. I promised you they had a failure. What do you do then is going to determine who you become in life. The true you show when you down. See, most people think the true you is when you up. When you got all the money, you got the wife, you got the kids, but you don't know what they went through to get to that money. You don't know what they went through to get their wife. They can have a wife or a husband, either or can be in a marriage and one of the people cheating on each other. But they was able to make it through that tough time. It could be where the father lost his job. And they might have to move in with parents for 6 months to a year. Now you ask yourself, did that woman stay or did she go? That's going to show the true her. It's going to try to show the true him also. What do he do when he loses his job? See, we love to talk about the famous people and talk about, oh man, how great they are. But we never talk about their failures. Their failures made them who they are today. Most people that know me, they'll say, man, you're tough-minded. You're a strong individual. But you don't understand what I went through to get to this point. You don't understand all the bouncing back I had to do to get to the mindset and the point I'm at right now. And when I see an average person that struggles and they don't understand how to bounce back, I understand why. Because they never ever had to face that. Let me change that. When they face it, they didn't never have to fully deal with it. See, when you got to bounce back, you got to take emotions completely out of it. But what does the average person do? Everything is emotional. Everything is how I feel. See, I can feel terrible, right? Because of a divorce. But guess what? I can't let my emotions control me with that. I got to keep going and keep pushing. My grandma died, right? That's hurtful. But I can't let my emotions control me. But what do most people do? They let their emotions control them. And they can't bounce back. Everyone will have a loss in life. Everybody. You're going to have someone that's going to die. You might lose a job. You're going to go through some trial and tribulation. What you do then? There's going to be times when you're going to get rejected. You wanted that job. You did everything to get that job. You was told you going to get that job and you didn't get that job. What do you do then? Do you give up or do you bounce back? The average person won't bounce back. They'll stay stuck. What do you do then? When you lose in life, a loss can be a lesson if you learn from it. Most people don't learn from their lessons though. That's your problem. Most people don't learn from their lessons. So you know what happened? They go through life and they don't understand how to adapt. They don't learn. Okay, I started a business, okay? The first year I lost money, right? That's a loss. What do I do then? That's the time to learn and figure out why didn't I make money the first year. You know what the average person do? I quit my business. That's your problem. You don't understand how to bounce back from a loss. You lost, right? Learn. Okay, why did I lose? Is it that people don't like my food? Is it people don't like the cooking? Is it people don't like my merchandise? Is it that I have bad service? What's the problem? Let's solve the problem so we can bounce back and get to the money. But the average person won't do that. You know what they do? They give up. Because they can't bounce back. More people drinking and smoking, not because they want to drink and smoke, because they can't bounce back. And it's the only way they know how to bounce back. Because they let their emotions control them. You can never let your emotions control you. Never. So now I got to smoke this blunt. I got to drink this drink. Why? It's the only way I feel right. Because everything is about emotion. It's not about logic and saying, yo, I can bounce back from there. Let me see what the problem is. Let me solve the problem. See, the whole purpose of this video is for everyone to understand your life not going to be perfect. I don't care how good of a man you are, how good of a woman you are. Bad things will come your way. It ain't nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do, you can avoid the wound that you create for yourself. You can avoid that. You can avoid, as a man, not having child support from outside children. You can avoid that. As a woman, you can avoid not dealing with a guy that's a loser. You can avoid that. Yeah, you can avoid that. But it's other issues and things that's going to come your way that you can't avoid, that all of a sudden your job just laid off 30 workers. You can't avoid that. I know people, when the pandemic first hit, you know what happened? They got laid off from their job. And then we got to figure out, who are they? What did you do then? Did you bounce back? Or did you cry and complain and mope? There's a lot of people during that pandemic, they just sat at home and just took the government money. I didn't. I was working the entire time. Because me being a truck driver, I was an essential worker. I could have made an excuse to take the money that they was giving away. But I didn't. You know why? Because those times that I went through then, it put me in the position I'm in right now. I was able to learn through that time. And one of the things I learned is, I got to be prepared if this was to ever happen again. And that's called bouncing back. I got to be prepared for if this ever happened again. They talking about there's a recession that might happen at the end of this year. Guess what's happening? I'm preparing for it right now so I can bounce back from it. But you know what most gonna happen with most people? They'll never be the same if a recession comes or when it comes. They'll never be the same. Because they don't understand how to bounce back. They don't understand how to bounce back. They don't. And because they don't understand how to bounce back, they'll never be able to do better. They'll never be able to bounce back. The whole purpose of this video is to understand this, that at the end of the day, you're going to have to find a way to bounce back in your life. And if you're not able to bounce back in your life, you're not going to be able to become the best version of yourself. My name is Sidney Combs, and I'm a young entrepreneur from Shreveport, Louisiana with a dollar and a dream. I need everyone to like this video. I need everyone to share this video. I need everyone to repost this video. It's so important that we get this message out there. It's so important that we understand that we got to be able to bounce back in life. Because I don't care how good of a person you are. I don't care how religious you are. I don't care what it is that you think you are. You're going to go through a trial and a tribulation. And what you do when you go through that trial and tribulation is going to determine your outcome in life. My name is Sidney Combs, and I'm a young entrepreneur from Shreveport, Louisiana with a dollar and a dream. Like this video. Thank you. I'm out.